Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and you're on the air with Power Squared. We're going to do a sort of a second look at summer movies. I think we talked about movies at the beginning of January in combination with talking about the fires that were going on at the
Yeah.
time. The fires are out, at least those fires are out. And we just wanted to kind of late look at the summer movies. We did a little research, and there were like 139 films released between the beginning of May and the end of August.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
that's a lot.
yeah, and there's no way anybody could see all those movies, and some of them were probably also on Netflix and things like that. You okay?
Yeah, sorry, there's.
So I'll just do this alone for a sec. So we thought we would take a look at the movies that happened between the beginning of May and the end of August, and what caught our eye and what we were going to wait for later on a free
Yeah.
server or something. That fits that description is Thunderbirds,
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Oh, sorry, Thunderbolts apostrophe. Thunderbirds is another whole
Yeah.
thing. Thunderbirds are slow. So Thunderbolts.
I've heard it was good, but I was burned by Phase 4 Marvel.
Yeah, it had sort of
We actually saw more of Phase 4 than I cared to, but
yeah, it had a little kind of ragtag group put together.
Yeah.
Sort of trying to be a new Avengers, I guess. Is that kind of the idea?
yeah.
That seemed like something that looked interesting, but would be more like Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's out on Disney Plus yet or not.
It might be. But in any case, we were going to wait for Disney Plus for
Yeah.
that one.
Because family before going to movies is about $100, to go see a movie. So you have to kind of pick and choose your films.
Yeah, for example, we did not want to pay money to see the live-action Lilo and Stitch
Yeah,
because of Disney's track record with the unnecessary live-action remakes.
yeah, and that was actually a really big hit, surprisingly.
Because it was Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, but I mean, just still, it made a ton of money.
Yeah, but that's like Moana 2 also made a lot of money just because it was Moana.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, so we decided not to see that
Yeah,
because it would sort of sully. And didn't they change kind of parts of the story a little bit?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, we did see Final Reckoning.
and it seemed to be one of the few people that actually saw that. That was not as big as I think they anticipated it being. It was the end of the mission, I guess.
Yeah,
We kind of speculated maybe they'll continue with other characters, but he's going to be, in his
yeah,
mid 60s, and maybe running isn't as easy as it used to be.
yeah. I remember when we saw Final Reckoning, we really liked it. Thinking about it, in the months after, there were some issues,
Yeah,
but overall, I didn't think it was the worst one, but
but we started rewatching some of the Mission Impossible movies.
yeah, because Trevor and I hadn't seen the first three.
Right, so we watched the first three, and there's stuff in Final Reckoning and the movie before that
Yeah,
where they kind of hint that things had happened like in previous movies, but they weren't in those previous movies.
yeah,
And so you get the idea that they're kind of making up backstory as they go a little bit,
yeah,
which is a little disappointing in a way.
yeah,
Because you've watched the series and suddenly, I don't remember that happening.
yeah.
And if you look at it again, no, it didn't happen. So,
But it's definitely worth watching Final Reckoning, at least for the submarine and plane sequences.
yes, yeah. It's worth it for that, but it surprisingly wasn't bigger than it was. I thought that, Tom Cruise had saved box office a few years ago, and
Yeah.
I thought there'd be some residuals for that.
Yeah,
I assume Paramount thought that too.
yeah,
But this was sort of kind of a disappointing foray for that film series. And kind of
Yeah.
a weird way for it to kind of end.
yeah,
There was a Ballerina,
yes,
which was sort of which was a disappointment at the box office. I think that everybody was hoping that it would sort of.
I've been given information.
Okay.
Thunderbolts, the trailer for it is on Disney Plus,
Okay. Thanks for that update.
and Lilo and Stitch is going to soon be on Disney Plus.
Okay. So for if you're watching, you
Yeah.
want to watch it Disney Plus later, there you go. Ballerina, what we were talking about, was a disappointment, I know, for the company I work for. And it's a sort of not a sequel, but sort of a spin-off,
Yeah, the John,
John
Wick.
Wick, which we had not seen
Yeah,
until recently. Started watching those, and the first two we've watched.
yeah. I really like the first one.
Yeah, the first one's really good, and the second one's pretty good too.
Yeah.
You're still, sort of rooting for the guy.
Yeah,
And I don't know if we'd seen 3 and 4 and The Continental, we might have been more hyped for Ballerina.
yeah,
I understand they do introduce that character in one of the previous movies, but not as an adult or something like that.
right.
So
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see when we get to it. But yeah, that was a disappointment, and I know they had higher hopes for it. How to Train Your Dragon, a live action version of that, came out in June.
Yeah, so I didn't really have any interest in. I always want to say I didn't have any interest in seeing the live action How to Train Your Dragon because, based on the trailer, it looked like it was going to be a shot for shot remake. And based on what we had heard about it, it sounded like that's not too far off from what it actually is. Like, maybe they make some changes, like they do with other live action remakes, but not necessarily for the better.
There's a couple of things about remakes when they do that is there's really no reason to remake an animated film as live action
Yeah.
unless you're just trying to go for the cash. And then a shot for shot, somebody did that with
Psycho?
Psycho. They did. Well, I was going to try to think of the guy's name, MQ or Q or something
Yeah.
like that. Did a shot for shot remake. Then why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Because, and I don't think, it just doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing a shot for shot? You're not adding to it. You're just basically just redoing it as a class project. I don't understand that kind of stuff. So you shouldn't remake good movies. You should remake movies that didn't quite work.
Yeah.
So if the movie's good, leave it alone.
I remember Chris Sanders actually, in an interview, gave his opinion on the idea of doing live action remakes, and he said his attitude is, we got it right the first time.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's gave Mulan as an example, and they were going to do certain things with Mulan originally, the animated one, and he came to a realization that they shouldn't do those things and changed what they were going to do for the better. And then he was disappointed with the live action. They fell into the same pitfalls they were trying to avoid.
Right.
I also mentioned with How to Train Your Dragon, we did see the original animated trilogy, and I thought the first one was the best one.
Right. So yeah, again, why remake good stuff?
Yeah.
All right. So in late June was Elio,
Yeah. So
which we saw no reason to go see.
yeah, I was even from the first trailer, I was not hyped for it at all. And then the first trailer,
Right.
when they redid the story, I still was not hyped for it.
Right.
No matter what they do, I cannot get hyped for it.
Now we're watching an anime,
Don Da Don.
right, which
Yeah.
has basically the male character is similar to Elio, where he's kind of a little bit of an outcast, kind of a loner, and
Yeah.
looks into the stars and wants to meet aliens, or believe there's aliens out there, I should say.
Yeah. He wanted aliens to visit.
Right. Kind of the same concept of Elio, but I just sort of think they're making a better version of that story.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Don Da Don came out before Elio.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so, it seemed like I'm getting what I needed out of that story out of Don Da Don.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's a little more mature
Yeah.
than I'm sure Elio was.
Yeah.
And that did not do very well either, did it, Elio?
No, and if we did decide to watch it just to, say we've seen every Pixar movie, I would just wait for Disney Plus.
Yeah. Okay. Movie that I think a couple of us were hyped to see, but we didn't. It was F1, which is a Brad Pitt racing film.
Right.
And I think we kind of just missed the window on seeing that really in the theater. Partly because we were getting ready for Comic-Con, a lot of stuff got put on hold.
Yeah.
And so we did not see that, but and I'm not sure how much I would have liked it, but because racing movies can be kind of all about racing,
Yeah.
and watching someone race is not necessarily great for long periods for me. I know some people love racing,
Right.
and we did see a racing movie that was very
Gran Turismo.
that was
really good.
yeah.
Why didn't more people watch that?
Yeah, I don't know, and not a lot of people watch this. I don't think either,
No. Well, as far as we know.
as far as we know. But
Also, I mentioned was on this list is K-pop Demon Hunters. We have not seen that because we don't have Netflix.
okay, yeah, we're trying to avoid Netflix movies because I can't see them.
Yeah, but just want to say we're aware of K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay.
Save us so marked
Jurassic World.
Rebirth.
Sometimes a franchise goes on too long
Yeah.
and starts becoming. I mean, Jurassic Park was kind of unbelievable in its own way. Theoretically, yes. It's possible, maybe, but then there's all the, what went on at the park and killed a bunch of people got killed and and then those dinosaurs, you can't keep them in one place, especially the flying ones.
Yeah.
There was a lot of you really shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And then there was three of those, and now we're 3 into Jurassic World.
Like the original Jurassic Park was kind of about how they shouldn't do that.
Right. And now we're 6 films in,
Yeah.
and they still shouldn't do it. So I had no desire to go. We saw Jurassic World when it came out,
Yeah.
which was basically kind of a redo of Jurassic Park in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and we probably liked it more than we should have because we basically got to see it for free.
Yeah, that's true. Wasn't that the one where the fire alarm went off?
Yeah, the fire alarm went off
at the credits.
Right
At the
credits.
Yeah.
And so one thing they offered was a refund, so we took the refund.
Yeah.
Saw it for free. We're like, hey, it was pretty good.
Yeah, for free. And then you get the idea sometimes when critics go to see a movie and it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good for nothing. It's a little different when you have to pay.
Yeah.
But I think we liked the movie. Yeah, maybe more than we probably would have if we had to pay for it. But for free, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Superman, which we did see.
Which we finally saw. That came out again while we were prepping for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And we did see it after we came back from Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the greatest superhero movie ever made.
No.
And there's issues with it, I think.
Yeah, like Lex's plan is a little convoluted.
Yeah, and it seemed a little like, wow, if you could do all this stuff, why do you care? But
and it felt like a sequel
yeah, kind of, yeah.
to an origin.
Yeah, and then they brought in these, it's not just Superman, it's the Justice Gang or whatever, and that sort of takes a little bit, shouldn't he be able to do this by himself?
Well, right.
I don't know. I mean, just you're a superhero and you're the Superman. You think you should be able to handle the movie by yourself.
They're also showing Superman has a different philosophy than the Justice Gang does.
Yes.
And Superman was trying to resolve things with creating as little destruction as possible, and the Justice Gang didn't care as much.
Right. And this also Superman, which I guess all the DC movies now will be through a James Gunn filter.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of subtle changes here and there, like the Fortress of Solitude is at the Antarctica instead of the North Pole, which I think it has been in other movies. I don't know if that's true or not. If that's part of the story. And
Right.
again, I was reading some of the early Superman comic books at the time, or a collection of them. I didn't go out and buy $1 million first issue, but they had a collection of them, and those stories are really small by comparison to what the Superman movies are.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of interesting if somebody actually made a Superman movie in the time in which it was originally set.
Yeah.
Which was the 30s and 40s, not 2025.
Right.
It's just me.
I also really liked Mr. Terrific.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was my favorite character by far. Yeah. And which is also like, maybe Superman should be your favorite character. So Mr. Terrific should get his own movie, right?
Okay, so one thing we at least wanted to mention is the Smurfs, which is the 4th time they've done a Smurfs movie.
You wonder why.
The only thing you'd really get from the trailer is, or the marketing campaign, I should say, is Rihanna Smurfette.
Yeah. It's a musical with what?
Like two songs,
yeah.
From what we heard.
Yeah.
And then also it's not Rihanna, even though she was like the focus of the marketing campaign, she's not the main character. James Corden is the main character.
Yes.
Or James Corden's character is the main character. It was like, why?
And it's weird that you wouldn't, every action you take, you would use your being name as, I smurfed.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know.
It's just why.
And it's like every few years, let's have another Smurfs movie.
Just like every 10 years, they do another Fantastic Four.
Right. And having seen the 2005 and the 2015, I'd kind of like to see the 2025 version just to round out the experience.
Yeah.
Now, that came out really big and then dropped off really big.
Yeah.
And I imagine part of it has to do with a lot of people going, I remember the 2015, the 2005. Well, I want to go see it again. It is like every 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the mix is of relationships and...
Yeah, I don't know either. The Fantastic Four movies are, when we rewatched them, I remember the 2005 one, actually, it's not one of the best superhero movies, but it actually wasn't that bad, at least looking back on it. I thought it was interesting how the climax was like smaller compared to other modern superhero movies where they like level up a city or or move a continent or something.
So then there was the 2015 was basically an ad for Chrysler cars or something, Hemi and all that sort of stuff. That was a little heavy-handed.
Silver Surfer.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that the sequel to the 2015?
2005.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
2015 was Fantastic.
Okay.
Which was really bad.
Right. Okay.
And Fantastic made Silver Surfer look good by comparison.
Right. And then, so I'd just kind of like to see it to say we've rounded it out.
Yeah.
And it's weird, too, that Marvel is sort of using the lettering of the Cinerama Dome, it looks like to me. Marvel.
Yeah, they're just going for a vibe there.
They're trying... I think they want to have this be the start of the next wave of stuff.
Yeah.
Now that they actually control it.
I don't think they know what they're doing anymore.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, because I forget if I said this before about Doomsday. It reeks of desperation with some of the casting.
Right.
Like Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Like they're desperate to get the plot back.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see. I think it's weird when you see somebody who is a superhero in one series and then they show up in the other.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what world are you in? Just, as a viewer.
I guess it could be an alternate universe.
Well, but I mean, like if you're in a Marvel movie, then you show up in a DC movie. It's sort of like,
right.
Like the streams are crossing.
Well,
but they go from being a hero in one to the villain in the same series. It's kind of...
Yeah. Remember Chris Evans was Human Torch originally, and then he was Captain America.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. But that's actually Marvel.
Yeah.
Except for that Marvel is Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the funny part in
Deadpool and Wolverine? They teased Chris Evans being Captain America so hard, and then he said, "Flame on!"
That was pretty good. That was a nice take.
Okay, moving on. So recently, Amazon released a 2025 version of War of the Worlds,
Again,
which has a
why? But
rare 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
isn't it basically a ad placement for
Yeah,
Amazon?
I've heard it's basically a 90-minute ad for Amazon, and it's considered. I guess now some would consider it one of the worst movies ever made.
It's again that's a book that's going to be remade probably in 10 years again,
Yeah,
if not sooner. And they're all, again, it'd be really, I read War of the Worlds, the book, and it'd be kind of cool if they actually did the movie set in the time, because it was sort of, it's like the 1890s or something.
yeah,
It was sort of, not this, we kind of expect technology, then it would have been like a total shock.
yeah.
And you see that there's a lot of things I think they should really do in the period, or actually do it in the style of the book, as opposed to redoing the movie every time.
Right.
Which is
Before we move on, I did see a correction.
Okay.
Jurassic World Rebirth is the 7th
okay.
movie.
Okay. All right. I said we were 6 and we were 7. And that makes it even worse.
So recently we saw The Bad Guys 2.
Yes. And
Loved it.
all right. We think there'll be a bad guys.
They tease Bad Guys 3 really hard at the end. I'm curious what they'll do with The Bad Guys 3. Trevor and I have read all of the books, and we think that the movies have actually been better than the books.
Do they follow any sort of general storyline from the book?
Okay, the first movie adapted the first 3 books, but still did its own thing.
Well, Aquafina's character, Webbs, is not in the books, right?
Mr. Tarantula didn't show up until book 2,
Okay.
but in the movies it's Mrs. Tarantula.
Right. Well, you have to kind of make it be.
Right.
Yeah, which is, again, I know we don't like Aquafina's
Yeah.
that much, but, she's not bad in that role.
No.
She's not like a cool person to hang with, but I don't know.
The Bad Guys 2, I thought it was good. The climax was weird. Had a little bit of an issue there, but
It sort of took it in a different direction, too.
I still liked it, and I'm curious what they'll do with a third movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I would see it if they do a third.
Okay, so at the same time, a new Naked Gun movie came out, and the marketing campaign did not sway us.
No, I don't really want to see Liam Neeson in panties or whatever. I didn't see. I know I saw the Naked Gun movie when it first came out, but I don't see why you would remake it. And it's sort of it's not so much a remake as the kids of the people that were in it. And I always think it's weird when not your siblings, but your offspring are supposed to do exactly what you did and be exactly like you were. That's not how it really works.
Right.
Anyway, and the humor is just not something I was really. It seemed a little lowbrow to me.
Also, Comic-Con, the advertising for Naked Gun was like in the urinal.
Yeah. Not on any stream or something like that. Whatever it said.
Yeah.
That was a little off-putting as well.
It wasn't as funny as the Deadpool toilet toilet cover ad campaign, because at least that was Fox could afford. So it was at least made a good joke out of this.
And actually, it took a little while for me to realize that's what it said. So I don't necessarily read. All right. So coming up, it's out today.
Yes. Is Freakier Friday,
And
which is a sequel to the 2003 Freaky Friday. Disney has done Freaky Friday a number of times.
yes.
But this is specifically a sequel to the Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis version, which I saw a couple times not too long ago, and I liked it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird they waited 22 years
Yeah.
to redo it, but or to do a sequel. Yeah, but
It's the same thing with Hocus Pocus.
yeah, that was kind of lame too. But this would be interesting to see because it's sort of again, they're kind of redoing the movie though,
Well,
but with
the
more,
only thing you could do with a sequel is kind of do it again,
Right.
but with different characters
Yeah.
or different dynamic.
right.
What I really liked about the 2003 one was how well Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis were able to play each other.
Hmm.
They did it really well.
Right.
Like, just very convincingly.
All right.
And
The
then
last film.
the last one we marked here was Fixed, which is by Gendy Tartakovsky.
Yeah.
The trailer was odd, to say the least.
Yeah.
But reviews seem to be favorable, and I want to trust Gendy.
Personally, just have the story seems very off-putting to me.
Right.
And I'm not really large and in charge about it. It's just sort of seems a little like he's trying too hard to make sort of an adultish kind of movie
Right.
without probably being as adult as, say, Fritz the Cat was. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how the movie actually goes.
And isn't it on Netflix?
Yeah, so if I wanted to watch it, I'd have to wait for it to be free from Netflix jail anyway.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know.
And I'd have to go with, I'd have to take other people's word for it.
I
The quality.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It didn't really throw me. Are there any other films that are coming out not in the summer? So there's other movies coming out, but that's kind of where we stopped as far
Yeah.
as caring. Any movies coming out that you're interested in that's not a summer movie?
Well, I am looking forward to Infinity Castle Part 1.
Okay,
His new Demon Slayer.
right. Is that the one that had all the trains at
Yeah.
Comic-Con?
And Building Rap.
Yeah, they really went all out.
Yeah, and they even had a booth on the floor that was hyping the movie. And an entire panel.
They tattooed everybody that was in with the home but they went all out trying to get you to notice it was there.
Yeah. Char and I would have to watch it anyway because it's canon.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're adapting the Infinity Castle arc as a trilogy of movies, and I haven't read the manga, but I'm aware that there's Infinity Castle and then there's Sunrise Countdown. So I wonder if Sunrise Countdown will be part of the trilogy somehow, or after they do Infinity Castle, they will then adapt Sunrise Countdown.
We'll find out.
Also, since the manga has been done for years, part of me feels like they're kind of just milking it.
Or they're probably maybe getting to something that they didn't do before. I mean, if they haven't already made this, it's sort of new,
Yeah,
as opposed to this is the second time they've made it.
right. But I mean, like, just on some levels, like, how long can you stretch out the adaptation?
Yeah, and apparently.
But I assume they're also doing a movie, so it can be like higher animation quality.
Well, yeah. Talking about stretching out a franchise, they're doing the television series of Harry Potter and then
Yeah.
audio books of Harry Potter, and
I think there was also some milking with Attack on Titan, as it was as someone put it was the first real life example of an infinite fractal.
so
The way they were adapting the rest of it.
we didn't talk about Minecraft,
Oh,
which I don't know when that was on here somewhere. Just realized.
well,
Which is another movie that we didn't see in a theater. But wait till it was on Max or HBO or whatever they want to call it now.
yeah. See, that came out in March.
Oh, sorry.
Well, April.
Okay, well that's before our time
Yeah.
frame. For some reason I think of it as
But if you want to talk about Minecraft movie, we can.
I just for some reason thought it was more of a summer thing, but it was out before.
Yeah.
Okay. Because really, at some point, I think with a summer movie, you got to do it like in May
Yeah.
because you have a chance for people to get a little word of mouth going, and then there's kids are out for school for summer.
Yeah.
If you wait until now to put a movie like Freaky or Friday, it's
Yeah.
not going to be $1 billion film because it's coming out so late in the summer.
Well,
Even if it's really great, I don't know if it's going to be that great.
it also doesn't need to be $1 billion.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it won't be this huge runaway hit because there's your audience is
Right.
disappearing in the classrooms.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. If you really want to do it, you do it. Like, the Star Wars and Jaws and all that came out very early May or early June, and then you kind of clean up.
Yeah.
That's movies back when those movies would just dominate a summer. Now I guess we don't have that it seems like every 2 weeks there's a blockbuster coming out or two.
Yeah.
And it's weird when they put out two big movies against each other.
Yeah.
It seems like, why are you doing that? But anyway. All right.
So
I'm looking forward to, I know it's going to be on Netflix, but it's also going to have a theatrical release as the Frankenstein movie.
yeah, Del Toro.
Toro's, yeah, because it looks like they're actually redoing or actually adapting the book,
Yeah.
not just the Universal film.
Yeah, no, there was a podcast episode where we talked about how we were temporarily obsessed with
Yeah,
the story.
we listened to a radio adaptation from the 30s, I believe.
Yeah.
It was like 80 years old at the time we listened to it. And the book is like really epic.
Yeah,
And the movies are very squeezed all that stuff in.
yeah,
So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with it.
yeah,
It should be pretty good. That's a movie I'm looking forward to.
yeah,
Again, it's short theatrical release, I think in November or something.
yeah.
So I have to squeeze that in somewhere. All right.
So I think that about covers it.
All right.
If you like this, leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. Comment below if you agree or disagree
All right.
with what we were talking about. Also, if you...
Or if there's a movie we missed that you think was really great, we should have talked about.
Yeah. Also, if you are looking for a silent fidget toy, use our code Marty and Eli to save 10% off your purchase at getono.com.
All right. So until next time, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.